The NASCAR Xfinity Series heads to Richmond Raceway, and we see a classic finish between two teammates for the victory with a bump and run and potentially crazy move, and we see the young driver go to victory. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to your video. I just got done watching NASCAR Xfinity Series race from Richmond Raceway to Toyota Cure 250. We're going to talk about a lot of things from the race and the controversial finish as well that everybody is talking about now. So let's go ahead and just jump straight in and talk about the race. So, before the green flag drop in today's race, a couple drivers would have to go to the rear of the field. This included Daniel Hemrick, Jeb Burton, and J.J. Lee, who would all go to the rear for unapproved adjustments. Also, this is the race that was the first official race for the Dash for Cash. That included Sam Mayer, Noah Gragson, A.J. Allmendinger, and Austin Noble all race for the Dash for Cash. So now let's talk about the race. So, at the start of the race, you had Ty Gibbs lead from the inside and John Hunter Nemechek second on the outside. And we see Ty Gibbs be able to get the race lead early, and he would dominate this early portion of the race. And then on lap number 12, John Hunter Nemechek was able to get around Ty Gibbs and pull the way out to a major lead. Meanwhile, Noah Gragson, around 30 laps later in the race on lap 40, he started radioing in that he was having some braking pedal issues, and his brake pedal was starting to go to the floor, which is something that you do not want to have at Richmond Raceway. The last major thing happened before the end of the stage was that A.J. Allmendinger passed Noah Gragson for second, and John Hunter Nemechek at this point had a massive lead, and he would come off the corner and win stage 1 here at Richmond Raceway in the Xfinity Series. We then see Noah Gragson come down pit road for the start of stage 2 early for everyone else. He came down pit road, tried to fix the braking issues he had, and then we saw leaders come down pit road with John Hunter Nemechek keeping the lead off of pit road, and then Daniel Hemrick would also get penalized for speeding on pit road. Then we see Noah Gragson in a couple laps later. He come back down pit road to fix the braking issues that he had, and unfortunately ended up speeding on pit road. He'd have to start at the tail end of the longest line. So on the restart, John Hunter Nemechek lead from the inside, and A.J. Allmendinger lead from the outside, on second on the outside, and John Hunter Nemechek was able to get the race lead. Meanwhile, we'd have another caution come out a few laps later. This actually would be the only caution for incident on the track, and that would be for Noah Gragson losing the brake rotor in turn number 1 and brought out the caution for debris. This would take Noah Gragson officially really out of contention in this race. He wouldn't fall out of the race, but it would take him out of contention in this race. So on the restart, John Hunter Nemechek lead from the inside and Ty Gibbs on the outside. And we saw John Hunter Nemechek keep the race lead and dominate the next portion of this race. Then with around 105, 106 laps to go, Ty Gibbs was able to get around John Hunter Nemechek for the race lead. He had a better car in the second half of this race. John Hunter dominated this portion, but Ty Gibbs' car really started coming in here the second part of this race, and he was able to get the race lead. He would come off the corner a few laps later and win stage 2 here at Richmond Raceway. We see all leaders coming down pit road with Ty Gibbs leading off of pit road, but a ton of guys would get penalties. We see Josh Berry get a speeding penalty as well. Jeremy Clements also got a speeding penalty. Parker Retzlaff was having a really strong run, got a penalty for an uncontrolled tire, and Seven Parsons would also get a penalty for removing equipment after he took the jack off of pit road after the stop. So on the restart, you have Ty Gibbs leading from the inside and John Hunter on the outside. Ty Gibbs started really pulling away in the early portion, and then with 36 laps to go, John Hunter was keeping really close distance with Ty Gibbs. He never really was about more than half a second ahead, and he tried to take a jab at John Hunter. John Hunter tried to take a jab at Ty Gibbs around 36 laps to go due to the lap traffic. John Hunter Nemechek was able to get around Ty Gibbs a few laps later, battling back and forth for the lead, but then Ty Gibbs a lap later was able, after basically giving a bump to John Hunter, he was able to get around John Hunter back and take the race lead back. And then it came down to a late race where basically Ty Gibbs had the race lead, and it looks like Ty Gibbs was going to be scooting away to victory. But around 10 laps, around 7 or 8 laps to go in this race, John Hunter Nemechek started really closing in late on Ty Gibbs for the overall victory. Going into 4 or 5 laps ago, they started battling back and forth. And John Hunter, with 4 laps to go, sends it to the inside, and he's able to get the race lead. Then they start battling back and forth. You have Ty Gibbs on the outside at one point. He's battling hard to get lead, but John Hunter clears. And as they come to the white flag, John Hunter Nemechek has the race lead going into turn number 2. And John Hunter looks like he's going to be cruising to victory. Then on the last lap, in the last lap pass for the victory, Ty Gibbs sends it into the corner, pushes John Hunter up to the racetrack, bumps and runs and pushes him up the track. And Ty Gibbs, an incredible finish, comes off the corner and takes the victory here at the race. So Ty Gibbs holds off John Hunter Nemechek for the victory in a classic, incredible finish between the two of them, and Ty Gibbs picks up the victory. talking about the move. There's a lot of baiting going on social media in regards to what my opinion are on the move. And to me, it is the last lap of the race. It might have been a little bit dirty, but at the same time, it is the last lap of the race. And we saw a lot of people praising Ross Chastain for his move at the end of the day. Yes, Ross Chastain got bumped first, but at the same time, it is the last lap of the race. And Ty Gibbs actually absolutely knows he has one coming for him. He knows that there's one coming for him. We got Martinsville coming up. I don't think John Hunter's in that race. But at the same token, at the same time, you got to do what you got to do to win these races. Yes, it might have been a little dirty and a little aggressive, but at the same time, it is short track racing. You're going for the win, and sometimes this stuff is going to happen, unfortunately. So you may not like it, but it is what it is, and Ty Gibbs picks up the victory. So huge congratulations to Ty Gibbs on picking up the victory as well and picking up his third win of the season as well. I believe this is his 6th or 7th career Xfinity Series win. So huge congratulations to Ty Gibbs. The two best cars battling for the win all day. Huge congratulations to him on the victory. So now let's go through the results of this race. So Ty Gibbs picks up the victory. Huge congratulations to him. John Hunter Nemechek finished second. He was my pick coming into the weekend. John Hunter was really, really strong going into this race. In fact, dominated the early portions of this race, and it looked like at the end he was going to have a shot to get it back, but had that bump. He did say he was not very happy with John Hunter after the race and showed his displeasure, but it is the last lap, and I do not blame John Hunter Nemechek for being upset, by the way, for showing his displeasure. But gets solid top 5 run. Can we have him full-time in Xfinity, please? Because he's really, really good. Why couldn't he be in the 18 car more? But huge congratulations to John Nemechek on a strong run regardless. He finished second. Sam Mayer finished third. How about that? Sam Mayer really got out of his race, was running just barely inside the top 10, but his car came in really, really late. And he also, because he passed AJ Allmendinger late, he actually won the Dash for Cash, so he also gets 100,000 K bonus for a Dash for Cash. So huge congratulations to Sam Mayer on a great run. Also, congrats for him winning $100,000 as well. He finished third. Great run from Sam Mayer. Kind of expected Sam to run pretty well this weekend. He gets a third place finish. AJ Allmendinger finished his fourth. Good run from AJ. He ran top 5 most of the day. His car in the long run kind of fell off, so he never really was a contender, but gets a great top 5 finish, and it's good experience for him going into tomorrow's Cup race. Riley Herbst finished this fifth. Good run from Riley Herbst, and very surprising considering Riley Herbst historically here has not run very, very well. So good to see that Riley Herbst gets a very strong top 5 finish. He finishes 5th. Good run for him. Daniel Hemrick finishes 6th. Considering Daniel Hemrick was not that good in this race and was at one point nearly a lap down, he gets a great top 10 finish. Good run from Daniel Hemrick. I expected more this year from him, though, but still a good top 10 run for him, though, at the end of the day. Josh Berry, after a speeding penalty, bounces back to a top 10 finish. I think Josh Berry had a 3rd or 4th place car. I think he honestly could have contended for this win if not for that speeding penalty. But a great top 10 run at the end of the day. We're going into Martinsville next week, where I think he's arguably the favorite to win that. He finished 7th. Great run for him. Brandon Brown finished the 8th. How about that? Brandon Brown, a lot of his races were like barely inside the top 15 and top 20, but a lot of the long runs really helped him out, and he got a top 10 run at the end of the day. Great run for him. Ryan Sieg finished his 9th. Ryan Sieg, definitely one of the drivers of the day for sure. He had a top 5 or top 6 car most of the day. I think at the end of the race, unfortunately, his car really fell off the pace and really fell off. But he had an amazing run today regardless. Another really strong run. He's been really good this year so far. He's only had one finish, I think, worse than 12th this year. I think they mentioned it on the broadcast today. So great run today for him. He finishes a 9th. Parker Retzlaff finishes 10th. Absolutely well-deserved for Parker Retzlaff. Parker Retzlaff, driver of the day, in my opinion. Yes, don't get me wrong, you're going to say that about the top 2 guys, but Parker Retzlaff had multiple issues on pit road. He had an equipment interference penalty, and then he had another penalty that dropped him so many positions back and bounced back to a top 10 run. Absolutely impressive run for that 38 team. He absolutely deserves it. And Parker only in his 2nd Xfinity Series start at the age of 18. There's another kid that maybe if a team does come out to play future, this guy could definitely be a good hire because a incredible run for Parker Retzlaff in 10th place. Jeb Burton finishes 11th. Very strong run for Jeb Burton today. Quietly had a good run. He finishes 11th. Anthony Alfredo finished 12th. Anthony was in the top 10 a lot of this race today. Gets all top 15 run. Good run for him. Brandon Jones finishes 13th. Brandon Jones' car just completely fell off because he was in the top 5, but I think his car really started falling off late. He finishes 13th. Justin Allgaier finishes 14th. His car completely shit the bed at the end of this race. Drops only back to 14th, barely inside the top 15. Does get a top 15 finish, but still not a good run today. He was running 3rd or 4th most of this race, but unfortunately, the car fell off at the end of the day. Landon Castle finishes 15th. Considering how bad qualifying is, this is a good run at the end of the day for Landon Castle. He does need to finish better than 15th, but he gets top 15 run regardless. Not a great day for him, but not a bad day and a better day than where it started. Ryan Preece finished the 16th. I'm definitely a little disappointed in Ryan Preece, not going to lie, but his car just was absolutely horrendous on the long runs. He was really good on the short runs. He was driving in the top 10, but that car on the long run unfortunately fell off. I do think Ryan Preece is a great driver and a very good driver, but not a great day for Ryan Preece. But still, I think Ryan Preece has that potential to do great things in the Cup Series in the near future, but he finishes in 16th, unfortunately. Mason Massey with a solid top 20 run in 17th place. Not a bad run for him. Austin Hill finishes 18th. His car completely fell off the cliff. He basically was in the top 10 a lot of this race, but unfortunately finished 18th. Tough break for him. 18th place finish, especially after two really strong runs the last couple weeks at Atlanta and Coda. Finishes 18th. That's unfortunate. Alex May finishes in 19th. Jeremy Clements finishes in 20th. Noah Gragson, after his issues, he finishes in 21st. Sheldon Creed finishes 22nd. Man, coming to season, we thought that Sheldon Creed was going to be a championship contender, and today he was horrendous. Finished outside the top 20. Bad run for Sheldon Creed, unfortunately. David Starr finishes 23rd. Roger Kroof in his NASCAR Xfinity Series debut. Again, Roger did a really good job by holding off John Hunter to stay on the lead lap. But not a bad run, all things considered, for the Alpha Prime Racing driver. He's going to run around another 5 starts the rest of this year. I believe he's running in Martinsville next week as well, if I'm not mistaken. So, great run for Roger Kroof at the end of the day. Gets a very solid top 25 in his first start. Not a bad run. Brad Mott finishes 25th. Derek Griffin, his debut, not a great run for him. I expected more from Derek Griffin. I thought he was going to be more of a contender. He finishes 26th. Josh Williams finishes 27th. Kyle Weatherman basically into 34 this week. Guy did the best he could in that 34 car this week. Joe Graf Jr. finished 29th. My Sider, horrendous run for him, finishes in 30th. Bailey Curry finishes 31st. JJ Lee finishes 32nd. Jay Beaver, after coming down pit road late, finishes 33rd. Joey Gates finishes 34th. Seven Parsons finishes 35th. Ryan Vargas finishes 36th. Kyle Seek finishes 37th. And finishing in last in 38th place is Brennan Poole. So now let's talk about the overall race as a whole and give you my score of today's race. The first half of this race, I will say, was pretty decent. Yes, the leader, there weren't a lot of battles to the lead early, but one thing I will say about this kind of track is what I love about Richmond is the comers and goers. And it was kind of like your typical Richmond race, at least in the early portion of the race, which is still something I really, really like. The end of the race, so in the last 50 laps, were absolutely incredible between John Hunter Nemechek and Ty Gibbs for the Ren. That was absolutely fun to watch, especially a late last lap pass for the victory. Incredible finish to the race. So the last 50 laps were really good. The first 200 laps I thought were pretty decent. Overall, better than not. I think they were pretty good. And then, of course, the finish was really, really awesome. So overall, my score of today's NASCAR Xfinity Series is, I'm going to give it overall a 9 out of 10. I almost thought this race was perfect. I think there's going to be a little more action in the early portion of the run, but still, I did really enjoy this race overall as a whole, and I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 here for Richmond. So, anyway, that's today's NASCAR Xfinity Series race review from Richmond Raceway. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications, be notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on page as well. Let's get below over that and comment your thoughts on today's race. What are your thoughts on today's race? Let me know below. Let me know your score in the comments below, and congratulate Ty Gibbs on picking up the victory at Richmond Raceway. Let me know that in the comments below. Tomorrow on my channel, we're going to have 2 videos. We're going to have the starting lineup for the race at Richmond, and then, of course, we are going to have the race review right after the Cup Series race at Richmond takes place. Cup Series is going to have a lot to live up to tomorrow since Xfinity was pretty good, but we'll be seeing that tomorrow, so that will be on the channel tomorrow. So anyway, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys next time with some more great, awesome NASCAR and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.